Ah, Commander. A little bird told me you and your friends went on a pilgrimage to the Mists. I am pleased and a little surprised to see that you survived the journey. What can I do for you?
We're combing the desert in search of something.
You're in luck. I have loads of something. You're welcome to peruse it at your leisure. This is the part where you clarify your statement and tell me what you're actually looking for.
What do you know about the Riverlands? Are there any peculiarities I should know about?
Well, there's a lot of history in those parts. Kind of history that attracts treasure hunters. Occasionally, one would pass through the Grand Sahil on their way south. Eyes alight with visions of gold and glory.
Did they find anything?
Don't know, I'm afraid. But I know someone who might. A Derman Priory scholar stationed out that way. Name of Gluck. If anybody can point you in the right direction, it'd be him. Good luck.
Where do I start? Maybe a scout can point me in the right direction.
The followers of Ascension are constantly seeking different methods to reach Ascension. Follower Zune and his golem collect forgotten glyphs in hopes of decoding their secrets. Follower Dawnwind fights to clear Augury Rock of the Branded in an effort to further her legend. And follower Adisa searches for slivers of Vlast for follower Lucius Anvilblade to weaponize. At Augury's shadow are several other Tyrians who have come to seek Ascension. West of there is the first camp, where you'll find followers that were here before the Tyrians arrived. Far to the south are refugees from Joko's kingdom. They may know of other places of power.
Aren't you the Pact Commander? It's a pleasure to meet you. The name's Zune. Big fan of your work. Something I can help you with?
I'm looking for an associate of yours named Glock. I'm told he has some information I need.
Decryptotron. Oh no, is he missing again? Again? I don't think I've ever met a more distractible Asura. Here, I'll mark them on your map. Hope that gets you where you need to go. And again, big fan. Don't die out there in the wastes.
I'm looking for a Priory scholar named Glock. I'm told he knows a great deal about the region. Know where I can find him?
Glock's hyper-intelligent, but absent-minded. Tends to lose himself in his work. And there's plenty to do around here. Let me see your map, and I'll point you to him. And do be safe out there.
I'm scouring the Riverlands for something. A place of special significance, possibly related to Vlast. Any ideas?
Sorry. I just arrived, so I have no idea what you're talking about. But it does sound interesting. Good luck.
There you are! I was worried you forgot about me. So, how'd it go with the gods? Did Ritlock behave?
Mostly. And it was God, singular. Kormir was the only divine being we found, and now she's gone too. On her way out, she pretty much told us we're on our own against Balthazar.
Ouch! How did Kaz take that?
Better than you'd expect. Kormir told us we had to find answers on our own. So that's what we're going to do. We've split up to search the desert for something, anything, that can help us against Balthazar.
That doesn't spell plan to me. That's just the letter P, scrawled on a rock, in pink chalk.
Maybe I should ask a genius to come up with something better. Oh, wait. I just did. Your thoughts, genius?
Well, give me a minute. You can't rush inspiration, you know.
Oh, I know. How's Oreen?
According to Kate, restless. Oreen keeps trying to fly. Takeoff and landing are still a challenge, but... Well, she's actually getting pretty good at it. You know, in short bursts, around the interior of the egg chamber. But it's not fun playtime flight. From what Kate says, it's more Sparkfly trying to break out of a killing jar flight.
Well, keep her calm. And don't let her go exploring by herself. The last thing we need is to lose track of her.
Noted. I'll pass that along to Kate, too. We'll do our best.
And don't antagonize Kate.
Say again? Breaking up. No promises. Define antagonize. Ding! Time's up.
We stick by our warband.
But I miss the Black Citadel. I miss the flames. I miss the fumes. I miss the clanging.
You've got a fire pit full of flames right behind you. Bunch of Doliacs wafting fumes just upwind. What clanging? Just pick yourself up a rock and pound on something.
New arrival. Come to help the followers of Ascension? We could use a pair of hands like yours.
Maybe later. For now, I need information. I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
Vlast. Only that he's from here, but that's about it. That's all I know. I'm new here.
It's no problem. So am I.
You know, come to think of it, follower Adisa knows more about Vlast than any of us.
You there! Have you seen any glimmering scales in your sojourns? I'm collecting slivers of Vlast from the Branded.
I'm afraid not. But I had a question. I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
Well, Vlast was born here. If the place you seek is in the Riverlands, I would hope it has something to do with him. Pilgrims came from all over Tyria to see him. The Elders used to direct wayward travelers to follow the river. Check out the camp west of here. The folks there might know more. You there! Have you seen any glimmering scales in your sojourns? I'm collecting slivers of...
I don't believe it. All these people are being cheated. We have to help. Lucia said I had to keep out of trouble. I know. You could help me gather evidence. I'm sure that would be okay.
I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
Vlast, huh? Huh. He was born here, I know that much. In a city that was eventually swallowed by the desert. Beyond that, it's all rumor and conjecture. Local legends and such.
Get this pouch. Second one is half price. And a cent with a friend.
I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
Vlast? I mean, I've heard the legends, but that's all they are. Legends and myths.
Myths aren't always fabrications. Some of them end up being true.
That's for sure. Particularly in these parts. But not all of Nyala's tallest tales are so credible. Not that it bothers the kid she teaches, of course. She's in the tent, just over there, if you'd like to inquire further.
merchant. You are truly doing the God's work.
Greetings, Wayfarer. Have you come to join us in the search for Ascension?
Maybe later. For now, I need information. I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
What's that mean? Special significance?
For the purposes of our discussion, it means really interesting.
But that could be anything around here.
Tell me about it.
Didn't you see someone with the Derman Priory the other day? What were they looking for?
Oh, that's right. A bunch of Asura came to the Riverlands. I met one of them. He was mean, but really smart.
His name is Glock. He's a bit impatient, but he knows a lot about the area. He came through this way asking vague questions, like you are now. Perhaps he'd be willing to share what he learned.
I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
Only rumors, and the occasional ravings of treasure hunters passing through. But I'm hardly an expert when it comes to the Riverlands. I'd wager the locals know more than I do.
Excuse me. I'm in need of information. I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
Special significance? Well, I did have the most spectacular romantic encounter of my life on an overlook just that away.
Not quite like that. What I mean is...
Let me set the scene for you.
Please don't.
Sunset. I'm looking out over the Riverlands, brooding and pensive. A rebel with a heart of gold. If only she would notice. And just then, she arrives. Dressed to kill and wearing the most alluring fragrance. But why?
Please, stop talking for a moment.
Then I realize this is no chance encounter. She's on a mission, and her sole objective, taming a heart that by its very nature must run free.
Fantastic. I need to go now.
Something you need, Wayfarer?
I'm scouring the Riverlands for a place of special significance. It might be related to Vlast. Anything come to mind?
Related to Vlast? That could be a lot of places around here. He's from the Riverlands, after all. I'm sorry, he was from the Riverlands. I only recently learned of his death, and... these are dark times indeed.
Don't you dare sneak up on me like that! You can get yourself killed doing that in a place like this. I'm far more dangerous than I look, you know. I'm sorry, this place has me a bit on edge.
I'll wear a bell next time. You're with the Priory, aren't you? I need information.
Concerning...
I'm searching the desert for... something. A place of special significance. Possibly related to the dragon Vlast.
You're not working with much, are you? These lands are rich with history, so that could be any number of... Wait, Vlast, you said?
Yes. Anything come to mind?
Well, since my arrival, I've heard mention here and there of an ancient lost city somewhere in the Riverlands. A hub of forgotten activity. Or it was before the fall, anyway. Supposedly, Vlast was born there. If you're looking for, how'd you put it, a place of special significance, the Lost City certainly fits the bill.
Sounds like you know a lot about it. Any idea where I can find it?
No idea. Hence, heard mention here and there. All I've gathered on the topic is rumor and conjecture.
A lost city. That must be what we're looking for. I'd better check with the locals. I have a feeling I'm going to regret this, but I have another question for you. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
Lost city? How do you lose a city? I mean, I'm forgetful. I've lost plenty of things, but a city?
Just answer the question, please.
Once I lost my favorite journal. Looked everywhere for it, and I never did find it. But you know what I did find?
Please say a lost city.
Every single left sock I had ever misplaced. I swear, if it's not in the last place you look, it's... well, elsewhere.
Fantastic. I need to go now. Excuse me. I have another question for you. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
Only in stories. Supposedly it was where Vlast was born, but it's long gone now.
What happened to the city?
Joko happened. When he redirected the river to lay claim to this region, he ravaged the entire desert. Those stretches of quicksand are his doing. As was the sinking of the city. According to legend, I mean.
Excuse me. I have another question for you. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
A lost city? Huh. I've heard of one here and there, mostly by way of raving treasure hunters passing through.
Any idea where it's supposed to be?
Not exactly. But supposedly there's a sprawling ruin buried in the desert. Plenty have come looking, but as far as I know, nobody's actually found it.
I appreciate the insight. Be well. Excuse me. I have another question. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
Lost City? I could swear I heard something about that from the locals. Apparently it was where Vlast was born. That's the long and short of it, though. Follower Disa may know more.
You there? You see any glimmering scales?
Excuse me. I have another question for you. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
Lost city? Only rumors. Supposedly there was once a grand city somewhere in the region. Vlast's birthplace.
Any idea where it's supposed to be?
I'm afraid not. But folks in the camp west of here might know more. You there? Have you seen any glimmering scales? You there?
Excuse me. I have another question for you. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
There are all kinds of curiosities in this region. Lost City? Sure, why not? Wouldn't surprise me anyway. But beyond that, no, nothing specific. Ask around Augury's shadow.
Excuse me. I have another question for you. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
A lost city? Can't help you. But if you find it and dangerous things live there, let me know, and I'll come running.
People are being cheated. We have to help. Lucia said I had to keep out of trouble. I know. You could help me gather evidence. I'm sure that would be okay.
Excuse me. I have another question for you. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
Lost City? Nothing comes to mind immediately, but I'm hardly an expert. You should ask Nyala. She's in the tent just over there, tending to the children.
Excuse me. I have another question for you. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
The only lost city I know of is where Vlast was born. The Forgotten City. According to legend, it was reclaimed by the desert.
Any idea where it's supposed to be?
Not specifically, but I ran into a couple of treasure hunters looking for it not too long ago.
Excuse me. I have another question for you. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
What about the Forgotten City? The Forgotten are really interesting. They took care of Vlast since he was born.
Sounds like you know a lot about it. Any idea where I can find it?
What about the river folk? Suppose they might know?
Oh, yeah! Go ask the river folk.
You'll find them south of here, settled along the riverbank. They'll know more about the story.
Excuse me. Do you have business with Elder Muriel?
I'm searching the Riverlands for something important. I've been canvassing the area in search of information.
She does love visitors. But you should know something. Muriel's very old, and her answers are not always clear. Please be patient with her. And try to speak up. Her hearing isn't what it used to be.
Ah, and who are you? I don't know your face, but I like it.
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I was hoping I could ask you a question. Do you know anything about a lost city located somewhere in the Riverlands?
A city swallowed whole by the desert itself. Kesho, yes.
Kesho? Is that the name of the city?
City? No, a nursery, where the Forgotten toiled, where Vlast's eyes first opened, where Glint gave us her legacy.
I need to find Kesho, Elder Muriel. Can you tell me where it is?
A terrible journey across terrible lands, beyond the sinking dunes.
I see. Thank you. Kesho. Vlast's birthplace. Now I just have to find it. Excuse me. I have another question for you. I'm searching for a lost city called Kesho. What do you know about it?
Kesho? Ah, yes, that's the name. Vlast's birthplace. Swallowed by the desert. according to legend.
Any idea where it's supposed to be?
If it exists, it'll be out there, in the wastes beyond the quicksand. A dangerous place to go on foot. If you intend to travel there, you'll want to make a stop at the skimmer camp west of here. The proprietor there has been selling skimmers to adventurers for years.
Years? You must see a lot of treasure hunters come through this way.
A great many, all searching for the treasures of the lost city. And to my knowledge, none have returned. You'd be wise to keep that in mind, stranger. If you journey that way, make sure to bring your skimmer along. You look like you can handle yourself, but the desert eats the unwary. Remember that.
I'm searching for a lost city called Kesha. What do you know about it?
Kesho? It's been a while since anybody's asked me about Kesho. How'd you come across that name?
With great difficulty, I promise you. What can you tell me about it?
You're different from the others. Maybe you are after something more than riches and glory. If Kesho truly exists, you'll find it to the northwest of here, where it was claimed by the desert. The area is rife with quicksand, however. Wouldn't venture that way without a skimmer.
A skimmer?
A creature much better suited for life in the desert than we.
I was famished. Thanks for the help.
I'm searching for a lost city called Kesha. What do you know about it?
Kesho? Where have I heard that name before?
Whatever happened to that adventurer we ran into last year? Wasn't he looking for some kind of lost city?
Oh, that's right. That was the fellow. He swore up and down he'd found a legendary lost city. And he asked us to join his search for a cut of the treasure.
What happened to him? Where'd he go?
See the fissure to the north? He ventured into the caves beneath it, and that was the last we saw of him.
Did anyone go with him?
With so many branded in the area? We know better than that.
Shame the adventurer didn't.
Forgotten statues. And they seem to be guarding that pit. Could this be the place? Hello?
Hello? Commander, are you talking to me? Your signal's really strong. How'd you do that?
I jumped into a deep pit.
Good job! Wherever you are must be on a ley line nexus.
Listen, I found something. A lost city called Kesho. It's buried, so I could use your help finding my way around.
Buried city? Really? Crud, I wish I was there. Describe what you see. Everything, in detail.
There's sand drifts and debris everywhere, and pedestals like the ones in Tarir, with exalted sentries floating on them. Something about this exalted. It's moving, so it's alive, but it's not responding to my presence.
Wait, not responding? Poke it with something. No, wait. Don't. That's poor research etiquette. Well, maybe just a light poke? I want to be there!
Here's something that could be a console, but it looks dead.
Huh. Probably needs a power source. Look around for a crystal or anything bright and shiny.
Found a glowing crystal, and a dead body.
Hope the crystal's not what killed the body. Only one way to find out. Pick it up!
Okay, the power's on.
What was that noise?
A door just opened. There's another exalted inside. Not red like the others. Looks dormant, but maybe I can wake it.
Well, carry on then. You know what you're doing.
No! Did Balthazar send you a Joko? I will defend this sacred ground with my life!
Wait, I'm a friend.
We don't like Balthazar either. The commander's on a mission to stop him. Frost is the only clue we've got.
What have you done? The pedestals are reviving the forged!
The glowy red ones are forged? Good thing he didn't poke them.
You claim to owe Balthazar no allegiance. Prove yourself. Destroy his creations.
Back to fighting, kill them all! Balthazar's the reason I'm here. He's working to kill Kralkatorrik, and we're trying to stop him.
I wish you'd come sooner. Balthazar was here recently with that wretched lich Joko.
Apparently, I'm the chosen champion and protector of Glint's second scion, Aureen.
If you've been entrusted with the role of the Scion's protector, then it would be my honor to assist you. I am Sadazi. Welcome to Kesho. What you see is what's left of the Forgotten's first attempt to pacify the Elder Dragons. It failed. This site was abandoned, but a few of us remained as its caretakers.
Why were Balthazar and Joko here?
They came seeking the forgotten magics that imbue battle armor with living spirits. The same that created the Exalted. They quickly discovered they could use those magics to create these abominations. The horrors they call Forged. The Red Exalted you fought were the results of their early experiments on us. Left behind as mindless sentries. In the chaos, I sealed myself in that chamber to avoid the fate of the others.
That was smart. Now you can help us make sure Balthazar doesn't succeed.
Balthazar thought he destroyed the information you seek, but the sentries he left behind were actually protecting it.
What do you mean?
The pedestals!
Your invisible friend is correct. I can reveal the secrets contained in any pedestal you choose.
Glint was the key. She was perfect for our purposes. A scion of an elder dragon, and a crystal dragon herself, with a mind of her own. We did all work well. Glint actively rejected Kralkatorrik, and she brought forth more scions to join our cause.
That was Jasso Escher, one of the Legacy's main architects. Sadly, he was lost in the attempt to convert Kralkatorrik.
Wait. Convert Kralkatorrik?
Yes. The Forgotten dared to try. But the hunger of Elder Dragons is too strong. It proved a tragic failure. More of your questions can be answered by consulting the other pedestals.
The most important lesson an Exalted must learn is, though Elder Dragons are unimaginably powerful, they can be killed. Each has a distinct flaw. Mordramoth, for example, dominates thought, but its most powerful asset, its mind, is also its greatest liability. Kralkatorrik's unique strength, its power to crystallize objects, is also its singular weakness. Its creations share a fundamental resonance that connects them back to the Crystal Dragon and makes them vulnerable to each other.
A fundamental resonance that makes them vulnerable. Whoa, so that's why Balthazar was after Vlast. He needed a scion of Glint to kill Kralkatorrik. But Vlast's gone now, so that means... Wait, there's one thing I don't understand. If Glint and the Forgotten knew what killing an Elder Dragon would do to Tyria, why would they rear Vlast and Aureen?
The answer is locked behind that door. If you're done with the pedestals, we can proceed.
Kesho is supposed to be my home, but it's more of a cage or a tomb. I prefer the open sky. I feel trapped here. This place reminds me that I cannot act no matter how eager I am. Not until the full legacy is ready. That's Vlast.
We encouraged him to record his thoughts for reference and posterity. He didn't contribute often, and was never glad to do it.
I believe it. He sounds super frustrated and restless. Like a genius progeny suffering through intro to Golomancy.
I can't stand it any longer. The constant talk of duty and destiny. The Force reverence. It disgusts me. Enrages me. My exalted attendants are durable, but still mortal. Insignificant. They quake with fear at the slightest angry hiss. I have a job to do, and the power to do it. They can't help me. Why do they pretend they can?
Sadly, Vlast matured in isolation. We didn't know how to socialize him properly until it was too late. By the time we realized Vlast needed to bond with mortal races as Glint had, he no longer could, nor cared to.
That's how it's done. And the others tell me I must wait. That before the real work begins, the whole legacy must ripen and mature. I am ready now. Kralkatorrik continues to grow in power, and my mother's death stands unavenged. I am my mother's son. I will wait. I will serve the glorious purpose she and the Forgotten set for me. Though the snakes and their golden servants speak as though it is their purpose, and Glint merely lent it her name. So in her name, I will act until the full legacy is ready. I will contain Kralkatorrik and cull its branded horde. Intruder! Kill them all! Strong!
Isn't responding. It must have been damaged during Joko and Balthazar's attack.
You're in luck because the commander is good at smashing things.
Active fighting!
Please, step inside. dragon cycle is one of feast and famine. Ravenous they rise, sated they sleep. Glint and the Forgotten set out to break this cycle of extremes and to restore true balance. But when two elder dragons were unexpectedly eliminated from the cycle at one time, we believe it created a void. A void that caused the system to break down and the collapse to begin. The hope was that Glint's legacy would stabilize the cycle. We theorize these vacancies must be filled with entities that circulate and share magic rather than hoard it. Only then will the balance of magic truly become stable. Only then will Glint's legacy achieve its ultimate purpose.
The scions of Glint are more important than we thought. Balthazar only sees them as a means to gaining power. But they could be instrumental in restoring the natural balance.
If you are, in fact, the true protector of Glint's legacy, then it's up to you to stop Balthazar from taking her. But know that he will let nothing deter him from his goal of killing the Crystal Dragon.
Timey, get a message to Ritlock, Canuck, and Casimir. There's a spire south of the skimmer camp, tall enough for Keel's airship to moor. Tell them to meet me there.
Commander, you must leave, now. I can feel the Forged approaching. If you are able to find Kesho, then I failed to adequately conceal the entrance. I must close the entrance forever. This portal will allow you to return safely to the surface.
But what about you?
I will keep my pledge to protect this sacred place with my life. I am at peace. Farewell, Commander.
Balthazar!
Expecting someone else? What's this? Are your friends about? Practice try to take things a little more slowly this time. a little more loud. Cry out, let everyone hear. How sad for you to die so far from home. Ah, the sire. Come here to defend our champion.